do, peeps? Yo, I've been contemplating doing something like this for a minute, going back and forth with myself. Um, should I do it? Should I not do it? Um, I could think of all the reasons why I shouldn't, but I can think of reasons why I should. And the main reason why I should is because it can help somebody else. Um, what I wanted to talk about today was depression and suicidal thoughts. Um, Depression is real, man, and so many people deal with it. I don't have all the facts. I don't have all the numbers on how many people actually deal with it on a day-to-day basis. But it's real, and it's something that I've dealt with. I deal with suicidal thoughts. I deal with insecurities. I deal with thoughts of hurting, others. Thoughts of being cruel to others. Um, I make sure that I'm always and I don't know how I want to say it. I always have tried to make sure that I try to walk upright as possible. But I'd be a liar to say if I don't have these negative thoughts that creep in every now and then. And I'm not saying that I'm always thinking about killing myself, or I'm always thinking about hurting people, or I'm always thinking negative. They're just there sometimes, and it's something that I've dealt with for a long time. Um, I really don't know where it came from. I remember I can remember back as far as I can to how it came about and like what kind of started it all in the beginning. But it's so many different things, man. I mean, so many people deal with it on so many different levels, and it's a real thing. And so many people need help. I'm thankful to God that I have a wife that understands, and she's always checking on me and just making sure I'm good. But sometimes dealing with that stuff, man, it could cause you to go into like I don't know if y'all ever seen Martin. But on Martin, there was an episode with DP, the dead plumber or whatever. And he said he falls into these stupors, and these stupors are like he's sleep, and it's hard for him to wake up. Like you can hit him with a bus and he ain't gonna wake up, right? And I feel like I'm in a stupor, but obviously I'm not asleep. It's more like you fall into this place to where the sunken place. You remember on what movie was that? Get Out. When he goes into the sunken place or whatever, you can feel like that. You could feel like that you're continuing to sink. You could feel like you're sinking and sinking and sinking, and the more you fall into it, the more nobody can help you. Um, and I felt like that. I feel like that sometimes, and thoughts creep in on my wife doesn't love me, or thoughts creep in on my friends don't like me, my friends don't love me, my friends think you this, or my family thinks that I'm that. It's just negative thoughts, man, and it happens, and it's uncontrollable. No matter how much I pray, no matter how much I try to stay connected with God, I would be a liar and say that they don't creep in, and they don't hit you. The devil knows how to hit you below the belt, man, and he knows how to push your buttons, and he knows how to get you where you're most vulnerable. So thoughts like um, the fact that we hang out with friends and everybody has kids except us. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's not to say that we don't like hanging out with. I don't like hanging out with my friends. It's just that's a reality, and sometimes that reality could set in, and it could be like, oh. But I thank God that we have friends that don't ever make us feel like, or they don't ever try to make plans and be like, oh, we shouldn't invite them because they don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never been that. I'm just, speaking honestly about the things that really go on with me. You feel me? So, it's thoughts like that. It's thoughts like people. people having babies and they're not married, or people having, um, people living their dreams out, and making money, and they're not working per se. They're not working a 9 to 5. Stuff like that it'll make me feel like, yo, like you're working a 9 to 5 and you barely making however much I'm making. And it's like, dang, like, are you, like, you're not doing anything with your life. Like, why can't you be like them? Or why can't you be like him? Or why can't you be like this couple? And I'm not saying anything about anybody that I know or anybody that, I associate with. I'm just saying the devil knows how to get in and creep in and make you feel like there's something when there's not. Does that make sense? He'll make a problem out of something that never was a problem, right? And once you get to that place where he's making a problem out of something that wasn't a problem, then it just grows and it grows and it grows until you look up and you be like, dang, I'm submerged in all these different feelings that I wasn't even feeling like that. Like, where's all this coming from? And it's like all the pressure just rains down on you. All the pressure just rains down on you, man. And this is stuff that I think about all the time. Thank God that it doesn't, you know, thank God it doesn't, entrap me all the way to where I can't function at all. Because I'm connected with the Father, He allows me to, break out of that. And I won't sink into that so far that I can't get out of it. But I've had thoughts of ending my life. I've had thoughts of, why am I here? What's my purpose? Did God really choose me? And like I said, these questions come about, and the devil knows how to submerge your thoughts into the negativity, and he knows how to. When you go to the pool and y'all playing, and then you duck somebody's head underwater, and you just keep ducking them, and just keep ducking them, keep ducking them. Like my uncle did that to us when we was younger. But it's like when you get ducked and you come up and you trying to get you trying to get that quick breath of air, and then you just boom. And that's how it feels sometimes to be in a way where you feel like like God is bringing you up for air, but the devil is just boom, dunking you back in. And it gets hard. It gets hard to live with. It gets hard to deal with. And it's real. And people die from it. People lose their lives not from dying, but from they can't function anymore because of the thoughts and because they can't control it. You feel me? And I never wanted to be like that. I'm so thankful that God always finds a way, that when I'm dunked in by the devil, God always finds a way to reach his hand out and say, and pull me up and let me gas and get my air and get as much air as I need. You know what I mean? And I'm reading the book of Job right now, and God allowed Job to go through what he went through, right? And the way I feel about my situation is that when God is reaching for my hand and brings me out of the water, I get a lot of air, and then he allows the devil to just boom, just dunk me again. And at the end of the day, all this stuff is just making me stronger. It's making me it's allowing me to be prepared for whatever my purpose is, for whatever I'm here to do, whatever that is. He's preparing me for it. It don't feel like that all the time. It doesn't feel like that all the time, but I'm thankful that God gives me the understanding, and I know that all the stuff that I go through is so that He can get the glory, and that I can come out that much better, right? In order to take a lump of coal, and in order to make a diamond, it has to be submerged in pressure, right? It has to be submerged in a certain amount of pressure so that it can come out a beautiful diamond, right? A lump of coal, it has no worth, but a diamond in the world's eyes is worth so much. You feel me? So I believe that's what God is doing in my life. But I want to use I want to use my channel. I want to use my platform to be able to tell people, yo, if you are going through your life and you're having thoughts of suicide, if you're having thoughts of insecurity, if you're having thoughts of no purpose, if you're having thoughts that you don't deserve to be here, I want to let you know that you're not the only one that's dealing with it. There's so many people in the world that's dealing with it, from celebrities all the way down to the working man. Everybody deals with it. And don't think that it's just happening to you and it doesn't happen to anybody else. God knows your pain. God knows your struggle. God knows when you need to be healed and how you need to be healed. And he knows how to bring you out of any situation that you're going through. But you just got to trust him. You got to have an understanding and be able to lean and depend on him at your worst time. That's what the Holy Spirit is for. It's for you to be able to draw from his power, because we can't do it by ourselves. If we could do it by ourselves, then God, we wouldn't need God at all. It's that plain and simple. We need him. And I'm so thankful that he sent Christ down to die on the cross for my sins, because nasty, evil thoughts plague my mind sometimes. No purpose plagues my mind. There's things that I've dealt with in my marriage that still plague my mind, that I'm so thankful that we were able to move past it. But at the time, it seemed like there was no moving past it. I'm thankful to God that he's able to push me forward, so that knowing that through him I was able to get through that situation, right? I'm saying this stuff because I know somebody's dealing with it. And I don't know if anybody close is dealing with it the same way that I am, or if anybody that's close to home, or whatever the case may be. But just know that you're not the only one, and that you have somebody that you can talk to. You can talk to me. There's hotlines that you can call. There's and believe it or not, you can reach out to your friends. Your friends will be there for you. If they're really true friends, they'll be there for you. Prime example, a couple of weeks ago, I finally bit up the nerve to kind of talk to my wife about it, and tell her, that, like, when you're not around, and even sometimes when I'm with you, I have these thoughts, and these thoughts kind of, they're there and they don't leave, right? And we talked for, she let me vent for like a couple of hours, and she was just like, well, if there's anything that I can do to help it, I don't know if there is, but if there is something that I could do, just let me know. And it gave me so much comfort just saying it out loud, that something was bothering me. Something was on the inside that wasn't sitting right. And it had nothing to do with her. And she didn't make it about her. All she said was, if there's anything that I can do to help, right? And then the next day, I got the notion that I should hit up, a couple of my friends. And I hit them up and was like, yo, this is what I've been dealing with. This is how I've been feeling. And it creeps up, and lately it's been there. And it hasn't been leaving. Like the responses that I got back, it helped me. It made me feel like somebody cared. When a lot of times when I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with, I feel like nobody cares. But in hindsight, how can anybody care about something that they don't know about? So if I'm not articulating how I feel, then they could never let me know that they care, right? But they reached out and said, yo, one of them said, like, yo, I had been, I just came across one of my devotionals, and there's a hotline that one of my friends told me about that you can call. And another one was like, yo, if you ever need to talk to me, you could just hit me up. talk to me. We'll talk it through. I've never dealt with anything like that, but I'm here for you. The reception, you'll be surprised by opening up and talking about these things and the reason why I'm saying open up and talk about these things is because if I know that I was nervous about talking about it out loud, then that somebody else is nervous or scared to talk to somebody about it out loud. You have to be able to talk about it out loud, because if you don't, if you internalize it, you're never going to get better. I internalized it and I'm talking about it out loud and I'm fighting to get better. And I want to make a point to let people know, yo, I don't want attention. I don't need attention from anybody. I know that I'm connected with God, the Most High, and I'm through Christ. I'm whole. I'm healed. But I am human, so these things still come about every now and then, and they still linger. You feel me? So I don't. What I need from people is prayer, and for people to be encouraging, right? But I'm not saying anything for people to be like, oh, I didn't know you were dealing with this, and and just now all the conversations that we have together, or now the way you interact with me, it's like, oh, I know he's dealing with this, so should we talk about this? No, like, I want everybody to be the same with me that's watching it, that knows me, be the same. However, I would be doing a disservice to other people if I don't show that I've talked about it out loud. If I don't show that I'm comfortable talking to strangers, talking to you strangers, if somebody else is watching it, or to my friends that are watching it, talking about it out loud and actually saying, yo, I deal with this is real, and I need help. Right? And if you're able to say that, then it's like a weight lifted off your shoulder. When I told my wife that, and I told my friends that, just a couple of them, like I said, I haven't talked to a bunch of people about it, because like I said, there's a thing about people treating you different when you tell them things like that. But what I'm saying is, dang, I lost my train of thought. But dang, I forgot what I was saying, because there's so many things that's running through my mind, and so many different things that I want to say. But anyways, just know. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. When I finally said something to my friends about it, and when I said something to my wife mainly, and I prayed about it, it was like that whole week I felt so much better. I felt so much better. The thoughts were still there. I'm not going to lie. The thoughts were still there, but I felt so much better that I said something out loud. That I said, yo, I'm dealing with this. That I said, yo, if y'all can just pray for me. Just pray for me. That's all I need. And I felt like the people that I did tell, I felt like they prayed for it, right? And I put up a post on Instagram talking about, about how I was in a bad way, and so many people hit me up and was like, yo, I don't know what it is, but I'm praying for you. And then you kind of take that with a grain of salt, because people tell you they're praying for you all the time, and it's not really true, right? They're just saying it because that's the politically correct thing in the Christian community to say. You feel me? So I don't really take that for more than what it really is, but it felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And then the next week, I thought I was gonna, continue to get better, and then it kind of reverted back the other way. So I started talking to God and was just like, yo, what do I need? I say that when I talk to God myself. Like, I talk to him normal. And I'm like, yo, what do I need to do to continue, to get better, to feel like I'm making progress like I did last week? And you know what he told me? He told me that I'm missing something, and that I need to figure out what I'm missing. So I was doing, I've been studying my Bible every single day since I said something last week. I'm on my 11th day. Today's my 11th day. And I've been praying, and I couldn't figure it out. And then this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Thursday. It's Friday now, but it was like, yo, I'm still missing something. I'm still missing something, and I figured out what it was. Conversations. Have a conversation with God. Have a conversation with Christ. Let him know how you feeling. Because when you let him know how you feeling, then you're letting him know that you put him above everybody else. Right? And that he feels like you have a relationship with him and you know him because you know him well enough to know that I can go to you and talk to you about whatever it is. You feel me? So I've truly been helped. I've truly been blessed by opening up and saying something. I've talked to family members, one family member in particular, about it, and we talk about it because we kind of deal with the same thing. I'm not going to say that person's name because that person hasn't said anything to anybody else, so it's not my place to talk about that. But let me wrap this up by saying, look, if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with evil thoughts, if you're dealing with insecurities, if you're thinking that you don't have a purpose, God has something great for you. God has a better life for you. God has great things expected for you, but you just got to walk in it. And you can get rid of all these thoughts. You can get rid of the negativity, the insecurity. You can find your purpose, but you just have to trust God and understand that it's only through him that you can get out of it. Talk about it. Talk out loud. Tell somebody. Don't internalize it. And most of all, talk to God. Let him know how you feel. What does the scripture say? I don't know about heart, but cast your cares on lay your burdens at the altar. Lay them at the feet of God. Lay it all out, because he wants you to lay everything out. Cast your cares on him, right? And you got to be able to do that to make yourself better. And you will feel and you will understand that, and saying it out loud and talking to somebody about it, to talking to God about it, you'll understand of how much you need him and how much you need to be able to say it out loud. They say the first, I can't really think of it, but the first, when you're an addict, the first step isn't it admitting it or something like that? And I think it's the same thing with our faith, with our troubles that we're going through. If you don't say nothing about it, then God is like, okay, you're not going to acknowledge that you need me. Okay, well, go ahead and keep on. Just go ahead and sit in it. Go ahead and sit in it. I'll just be right here waiting for you. And when you're ready, I got my hand out just like this. So I'm waiting on you. But I'm not going to do nothing until you admit it. I'm not going to reach my hand out until you admit it. But actually, God, he always has his hand out. It's just taking us to lose our pride and lose our, get rid of self and actually go to him when we need him. So if you're dealing with negativity, depression, suicide, talk about it. Go to a family member. Go to God first, and then go to a family member. Go to a friend, somebody that you can confide in, that you can talk to about it. And for other people, when you're talking about it with somebody who's dealing with it, or if you're dealing with it yourself, but what I'm trying to say is, if you're talking to somebody about it, don't try to fix it. Don't try to fix it. Just do your best to pray for them. Do your best to understand, empathize. Don't judge them, and don't say, "Dang, like you're supposed to be Christian. Why are you dealing with this?" Like, have open arms and empathize. I think empathy is something that the Christian community lacks nowadays, because the first thing that they want to do is say, "Okay, well, you're dealing with this because of this is what you did." One thing before I let you go, in my studying that I've been doing in the book of Job, all of Job's best friends, the ones that he had talked to, they all said that he's going through it because of the sin that he caused or that he did. And one of them went so far to say, you're dealing with what you're dealing with, and your sons and your daughters are dead because of their sin. And another one went on to say, I don't know what you did. I didn't see you. But the only reason why you could be going through something like this is because sin that God saw that I didn't see. So the secret sinning that you were doing, that's why you're dealing with this. And I felt like all of Joe's friends lost the empathy. They didn't empathize with his situation and really try to get an understanding and understand that Job was confused because he felt like he was upright, but he was still dealing with something that he felt was undeserving, right? So you never know that the person that's dealing with suicide, that's dealing with depression, they can feel like they're dealing with it undeserving. So don't, when they come to you, don't try to fix it. Don't try to say, oh, well, you need to do this, you need to do this. Empathize with them first. Empathize, have empathy first, and then let them know that you serve, and they serve a God that is above all that, and He can bring them out. So I appreciate y'all letting me talk about it for a little bit. I feel so much better just talking out about it, and I'm gonna continue to do videos like this on whatever topic. I'm not calling it nothing. It's not a segment. This is just me. This is my YouTube channel. I can do whatever I want to do, and I'm thankful that God pushed me to talk about something that I felt so uncomfortable about, that I've been dealing with since I was a little kid, man. And I'm thankful that He's finally, putting it on my spirit to actually say something about it. So I hope I help somebody. I hope somebody click this video because they want to find out, how I help myself and how I use use Christ to help me to get out of the negativity, the depression, and all the other stuff. So, man, I just want to say I love y'all. Whoever is following my page, mainly right now, is my friends. There's a lot of people that follow me and they don't really comment on my videos and different things like that, but it doesn't matter because I'm not doing it for the likes. I'm not doing it for the shares. I'm not doing it for the comments. I'm doing it because God has put it on my heart to do more, to do better. And I want to be great. And I think that I have what it takes to be great. I just got to kind of walk in it and just trust God and do things for the right reasons. You feel me? Like, not do anything for personal gain or personal glory. I need to do things so that God can get the glory. In all your ways, acknowledge Christ, right? And He will enlighten your path. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I love y'all. Pray for your boy, and pray for anybody who's dealing with depression. Pray for anybody who's dealing with suicide, because they need it. Deuces.